The lookup function, how it works. We are going to look at the lookup function now. The lookup value function. The lookup value function, this is the syntax here. Resultant column name, search column name, search value, and search to column name, search to column value, and so on. So here, for example, my measure name is unit price. Lookup value function, right? The first argument, you need to specify the column you want to retrieve from the target table. Right? In the which table? In the product table, I want to get the unit price by doing a lookup of the product key from my sales table's product key. So basically, I am currently in my sales table. In the sales table, I have a column called product key. I want to take this product key and then do a lookup in this product table based on this product key. For the corresponding product key, what is the unit price? I need to return it. That is how the lookup function works. So what I am going to do is, now I just go here and I create a new calculated column. Not all the columns are available in a single table. Like I said earlier, as part of the normalization or denormalization, right? The data are stored in different tables. The product stored in a separate table, right? So in this case, for example, I just want to see total sales line, total sales amount, total line, line sales amount is equivalent to, I'm going to say the product, dim product. In our case, we have something called dim product. So not the dim, okay, let me do one thing. Here we have quantity, right? So quantity, fact sales quantity into, not the sales amount, cost price, right? So totals, the total line cost. Cost price I need to know. The cost price is stored in my dim product table. Dim product. So here, see, the quantity column is available in my fact sales because currently I am in my fact sales only, right? So I need to pull the cost price from the product table because the cost price is available only in my product table. So in order to, okay, sorry, this is my related function, right? Sorry, I'm talking about, I started discussing about the lookup value. Let me do one thing, sorry. Lookup value, and here what I want to do is I want to return the dim product cost price. I want the cost price, comma, and my dim product ID, and here fact sales product ID. Take the product ID from the fact sales. For each line, right, you take the product ID and do a lookup in the dim product table, based on this product ID, and then return the corresponding cost price. So I'm just going to, so in this case, the lookup value function, right, so using which you can access the, or you can do a lookup on the lookup table. So what is the lookup table? Dimension tables are in general called as a lookup table. From the fact sales table, you are passing the product ID to your lookup table, which is nothing but the dimension product table. What is happening? It is still going on. Yeah, that's it. So this is my cost price, the 40 into, okay. So here you need to, okay, this is your cost price, right? And then you can specify, for example, you want to bring in the cost price, right? Just cost price, not the total line. You want to bring in the cost price. You want to bring the cost price for each line of the product from your, let me do one thing. Already I created the same column to demonstrate to other batch. This cost price, whatever we are seeing it, right? This is coming from my dimension product table. The next one is, what you do is you take your quantity into the cost price, and that one will give you the cost, right? Cost of goods sold, something like that. Fine. This is how you can use the lookup value function. Okay. The next one is the related function. This is also similar to your lookup value function, but in the case of lookup value function, you don't have to have the relationship between the tables. So what we are doing is, so in this case, right, what is the common column between these two? Product ID, isn't it? One second, let me just, the common columns between these two tables are product ID. So this product ID, from this product ID, we are doing a lookup on this table to get the cost price. But here you don't, even if you remove the relationship, it will work. But in the case of related function, it requires a relationship between the tables. If you don't have the relationship, the related function will not work. But even that one also somewhat similar to the lookup function only, but the syntax is a little bit different. Related function, you need to use it, that's all. But you don't have to pass the product ID column from your fact cells to dimension product tables product key, product ID. If you specify related, that is more than sufficient. But you need to specify the column name here. For example, or total cost, something like that. Okay, we'll just put okay, let me do one thing. Total cost price, total cost by line item. Instead of having two columns, right, single column itself, we can do that. For example, I have something called, this is one way good, this is the best practice. Don't create multiple columns, single column itself, we can do this one. So I'm going to use the same thing, you can follow it for the lookup also. Okay, dim product, and in this case I have the price, right? So here quantity into cost price, it gives you the cost of goods sold. We have single COGS, COGS. Look here, the cost of goods sold is 80. The same thing you could have done it here. So here we got the cost price for each product. So here what we can do is we can do the same thing here also. Quantity, axis, quantity into this one, right? You can do this, and here I say this is line item 1, something like that. Both should tally the same value. Only difference is the syntax, and in the other difference is you don't need to. So what about the other column? So both of them are same only, right? So this thing, right? So we have done all the computed singles. Instead of doing it right, create one more column, and it is not a good thing. It's a simple, straightforward thing. Try to do it in a single column so that the performance will be faster. Please concentrate here. Don't get distracted. Okay, all of you, please concentrate here. So hope you understood the difference between related and the lookup function. The related function returns the related value from one table to another table. This is similar to the lookup value function in Excel. Okay, the DAX related function requires that a relationship exists between the current table and the table with the related information. This is what you need to remember it. The related function can only draw value from the one to one or one side to the many side. What is the one side? The one side is the dimension product, dim product. That's the one side to the many side. From the one side, the cost price, I want to bring it to my fact sales. That is the many side, one to many. Remember, related is one to many. And the next one is we have something called related table. Related table as a name, as this function name ends with table, you need to pass the first argument as the table name, whereas in the case of a related, column name. Okay, so even this one, this related table returns a table of values The related table function changes the context in which the data is filtered and evaluates the expression that a new context that is specified. The DAX related table function requires relationships. Look here, like related table function also requires a relationship between the tables. If you don't have the relationship, it will not get the values. Okay, the related table can draw value from the many side to the one side. You need to remember this. M to 1 and the previous one is 1 to many. The related table is many to 1. The related is 1 to many. You remember this. So what I do is I'm going to create a calculated column. To demonstrate this, I'm going to create a column and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the product table. Okay, in the case of product table, so product is a one side, right? And fact sales is many side. Now what I'm going to do is for each product, how many number of sales we made, right? So we wanted to see that how many number of transactions happen. So for that I'm going to create a new column, calculated column. I'm going to create it. Okay, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say so what I'm going to do is related table column. So here I'm going to use something called count rows function. And simply, okay, related table, I'm going to say the fact sales. What is the number of transactions for each product? Look here. So this product P005, they purchased in 25 different orders, right? So in this one, this. So this is many to one. If you wanted to draw the values from many side of your fact sales to your product table or customer table, right? You can use this one, the related table function. Now you understood the difference between related and related table. So in the case of a related table, for example, these are the two use cases. Calculate the sales value of the products tables by doing a lookup on the price table. So in this case, price table multiplying by the product table, the number of units sold. Supposing, see, in real time scenario, right, they wanted to update the stock on hand. How much stock on hand? They will have something in the products table along with this cost, price, everything. They will have something stock on hand, and you need to subtract, whatever the orders you executed so far, because this product ID P001, you have 20 products, and how many number of products you sold? Let's say 18 products you sold. So 20 minus 8, so 20 minus 18, you are left with only 2. So stock on hand only is 2. So those kind of calculations, right? These kind of things are very much helpful, and right. So in that, those kind of things. And the next one is the consolidate the sales and update the stock value. So that's what I mentioned here. But here what I say, right? So the related function is helpful to bring the price, the cost price from the dimension product table to my fact sales table. So in that kind of use cases, you can go for these two things. The next one is cross filter. Cross filter also explained it several times. The cross filter function, it doesn't return any value. So it helps us to enable the inactive relationship to active relationship till the duration of the calculation of your measure. Okay. So for that purpose, and programmatically, if you want to enable the not the inactive relationship, so using cross filter, you can enable the bidirectional relationship programmatically. Okay, supposing I just go back here, I go to the data model here. For example, I want to filter the customer by product dimension. So what will happen? Here there is no relationship exists between these two tables, right? These two tables, there is no relationship. the relationships are flowing from here to here, and unidirectional relationship, right? So here we have enabled the bidirectional relationship, but here there are no relationship. We want to know, how many number of customers purchased each product. Let's say I sell A, B, C 3 product, and product A, how many number of customers purchased, product B, how many number of customers. If you wanted to use my product table to filter my customer table, and vice versa, it is not possible. The only way out is I need to enable the bidirectional relationship between these two tables, because these two tables do not have any direct relationship. In order to use the product table to filter the customer dimension table, I need to enable the relationship between these two tables as a bidirectional. Okay, since if I enable the fact sales table to filter my customer dimension table, then obviously your product table can pick up the data from here also, right? So that is when we, but here there are two approaches. One is manual approach, other one is programmatic approach. So you can go and look here. This is a bidirection. Here I enabled bidirection already here, right? This is the one, right? I enabled bidirection. So this is what I'm talking about, the bidirection here. So here this is the manual way of doing it. It is not recommended manual way of doing it. So look here, you can, one way of doing is you just double click on this. You can see the, right? So here both cross filter direction is both in this case. This is not recommended approach. Don't do it something like many to one, cross filter both. Don't do it. This is not the recommended approach. So what we do is, in this case, instead of doing this, we create a measure. I'm going to another page. I give the meaningful name. I give the function name itself as a measure name, so that you should be able to quickly reference this one. We have something called cross filter measure. The next one is calculate function, and here let's total sales. Instead of this, we will do one thing, count of how many number of customers purchase each product, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say customer ID, something like that. Okay, customer ID, comma, cross filter. You cannot use cross filter directly. If you want to use cross filter function, you have to use calculate function. Remember this. In this case, left column name. So here right column name. So filter type. So there are three arguments needs to specify. What is the left column name? Let's dim. So I need to enable the cross filter direction both between the customer table and the sales fact table. Only then I can use the product table to filter the customer table. Comma both. This is very important. And then this one. So ideally you need to specify something like this. Anyway, it got executed. See, the time intelligence function, okay, majority of the other table functions were, and what we will do is we are left with the important topic, the time series, the time intelligence function. Instead of tomorrow, right, better we will have it on Saturday, so that we will have some breathing time to go through on today's session and practice it in the upcoming days. And this Saturday, upcoming Saturday, we are going to wrap up the entire training, okay, with the time intelligence. What are the other leftover function, we'll try to complete it, okay. And this Sunday we are going to have a test, okay. So we are going to have a test in DAX, okay. I'll give you some assignments, and in class you do the assignments. So I don't know why it takes something called DAX definitive guide. The definitive guide is very much helpful, and importantly, I thought of helping you to understand how to use the DAX Studio. One second, it is hanging. The system is hanging. One second, let me just see DAX Studio, right? So how to use DAX Studio. So what I will do is in the next session, at least, right? This Saturday, after completing the time intelligence function, and we have something else called top n function and summarize function, right? These are the important functions. Rank function, top n function, summarize function, plus time intelligence function. That's all. We have enough time to complete that. Side by side, I'll help you how to use DAX Studio also, right? That's all. Because I could see that many of them could not attend it because of the weekdays, right? Many of them have office. Still few of them are traveling. They sent a message saying that I'm traveling, I cannot attend. So it is going on and on. I don't know why it takes a lot of time. Let me close this one. Yeah, so already I have another one is there. Let me show you if with this how it works. Any of cross cascading, that kind of scenario, how we can create a measure using cross filter. Using cross filter, we can enable the bidirectional relation, so that you can enable the cascading slicer. In the past I showed you. So end of the day, right, so this measure will show you each product, okay, for each product how many number of, let me do one thing, for each product how many number of customers, each product is purchased by how many number of customers. That is what it is going to display it. Anyhow, what I will do is I will just wait for some more time, and then I'll share it to you all. It is already 7:08. Even I have a couple of other meetings, office meetings. I mentioned it, okay. They sent a message to me, and file ex demo DAX calculate all functions. I'll be uploading it in the this one. Without fail, you start practice it, okay. So for the rest of your tonight we will continue the SQL server topic, okay. The same meeting invite, and 8:30 we will continue as usual. All right, fine. So I'm going to wrap up now, because people are already calling me. In case of any doubts or questions, you can WhatsApp me. All right, you WhatsApp me probably, right. I will try to arrange some other mobile phone, right, and then I'll be in touch with you. All right, thanks.